Oh, hi. I wasn't expecting you so soon. Hello, I'm VB. Or you can call me Virtual Boggo. I'm here to show you how to make a kind of like a chili slash stew that I created. A lot of people seem to like how I made it, so I decided to show you guys how I did it. And you can make it at home. You can follow the video. Unfortunately, I can't actually cook it because I'm kind of stuck in your computer. I cannot leave your screen. So I'm going to have my lovely assistant Rez do the actual cooking for you, and I'm going to explain exactly what he does during the whole process. So without further ado, if you're ready, let's watch. Woo! Okay, hi, welcome to the video. So as you can see, my friend Rez here is showing you how to actually hold a knife. Always make sure to put your fingers exactly where he's showing you. It's very important that you do. So you'll notice that we have a nice bamboo cutting board, and then these are all our ingredients. We have canola oil, but you can really use any oil you like. We also have three different kinds of spices, some canned tomatoes, some tomato sauce, and mushrooms, beans, black pepper, freshly grounded, of course, and well, two types of meat. I won't be showing you how to cook the chicken in this one because that's a separate request I had from somebody. And of course, the vegetables for the base. Aren't they lovely? Good. So, first things first is Rez is going to be taking care of the actual mushrooms. So, whenever you're cutting something, be very careful and always, always, always safety first. Rez has actually been a chef for a very long time, so he's very trustworthy with a knife. If you don't understand how to use a knife, please make sure you ask somebody who does. Or in another video, I will get Rez to make a knife holding, like, actual how-to tutorial. And there we go. Boom. Just like that. So next up, what you want to do is you want to clean your celery, and you want to take away those nasty ends because those have dirt and stuff like that. These have been washed previously, but you can't get rid of everything, so you gotta make sure that you actually get rid of the stuff that you just don't want to eat. Such like this. Now I know what you're thinking. He's getting real close to his fingers, but that is actually the safest way to do it. And you know what? You know what, Rez? We're gonna make a video on a knife tutorial. That'll be fun. That'll be fun, man. So he's taking care of all the bad spots. Now you don't have to, because they're not going to kill you. But he also worked in restaurants for many years, so he's just been trained to do that. So we're just going to let him do that, make it look nice. So he is cubing these so they look nice and uniform. Whenever you're cutting something, you always have to make sure everything's roughly the same. As for carrot ends, you don't want those because those have a lot of dirt and stuff on them, including the carrot tips. Carrot tips you want to get rid of as well. Again, you don't have to, it's not going to kill you, but it just looks better if you do. Especially if you're trying to take a bite of something and, you just find a gross carrot end and you're just like, bleh. So when you're cutting carrots and when you're doing carrots, always make sure that you're, washing, peeling, making sure they don't look like they normally do, because they look kind of gross as is. So look how nice and shiny and bright orange those are underneath. It's an absolutely beautiful vegetable and great for a snack. Boom! He's done again. Isn't he amazing? He's a magic boy. So he's got his carrots all nice and shaved and ready to go. So the next step after that is just cutting them the way you want. Now, what he's going to be doing here is a small bias cut, and what that means in layman's terms is like an angle cut. So like kind of like a dab at an angle. All right, I'll shut up. So, but yeah, so like that. He's He's cutting that like at an angle, and he's making sure they're all about the same size. We're gonna speed up the video here just because cutting like this takes a little bit of time. So how are you all doing today? I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I'm glad I have you here. He's very good with a knife. Very, very good. He's also very defensive with his knives. You always have to ask a chef before you touch their knives because they're very expensive and they're very worried people are going to break them all the time. Isn't that right? There we go, last one. So, now that he's got the carrots and everything done, it's time for the potato. Wait. Okay, I get it, you got OCD. I do too. Okay, now it's time for the potatoes. There we go. So, just 2 potatoes. We don't need that many. Potatoes are good for starch, and we're also putting them in the chili/stew because I don't know. I personally think it's nice to have a little extra texture. You don't have to put potatoes in if you don't want to. And see, once again, just like with the mushrooms, he's quartering them. Because like I said before, when you're doing anything, especially when you're cooking, making sure all of your ingredients are about roughly the same size will ensure that the amount of cooking time you have to do will always be about the same. So that nothing else gets undercooked or overcooked. It's all going to be uniform. Just a small tip. Technically, you can cut anything any way you want. But there are reasons why these rules exist. You're doing a good job, Rez. I appreciate you. I appreciate the hell out of you. You're doing such a good job. Oh, all right. So, look at this. We have all of our stuff cut. We have the potatoes, we have the carrots, and we have the mushrooms. That's exactly what we want. And they're all in separate containers, just in case. Having a lot of containers to hold your ingredients in is also helpful because it helps keep you organized. I'm glad you agree with me, Rez. Okay. So, yes, thank you. So now we're going to get started on the wet ingredients, which are our diced tomatoes, the aduki beans, which were also requested. You can use any beans you want, it doesn't really matter. If you don't like aduki beans, you don't like aduki beans. Kidney beans are fine too, which I think are normally used. So, a big strong man here is going to open all of these cans, and just, you see the bowl over there to his left, he's going to put them all in that for safekeeping. Again, keeping organized and making sure that everything is uniform, processed properly, and clean. $20 says you can't keep that cutting board clean. $20. I'll give you Doge coins later, Rez. I can't give you physical money. Yeah. You put the can lid in the can, organize, clean. Now, I know some people who don't like tomatoes, and that's okay. I like tomatoes. Not everybody likes everything, which is totally fine. But it does surprise me sometimes. Sometimes when I hear things people don't like. So, with beans, usually, especially when they're in the can, you're going to notice that there's a lot of water, and when you look at what's in the water and stuff like that, it's a little slimy, it's a little gross, but it's actually not like gross at all. Actually, bean juice is used for a lot of different vegan recipes, and it can make it really delicious. It's like bean starch? Yeah, so you can make a lot of cool things with bean starch. But when you do this, just so you know, just in case nobody likes bean starch, always make sure to drain your actual beans so that you can, not have them slimy. Are you having a little trouble there? Come on, I know you're strong. Get those beans out. Get them out. Do it. There we go. It's like a cute little xylophone. There we go. Ah, man, I actually like beans. They're very delicious. You guys ever had maple syrup beans? By the way, I'm from Canada. I love maple syrup. I really love maple syrup. Okay, so what he's doing here is he's going to put the beans into the sink because, well, they need to be rinsed. Once again, if you want to get rid of the bean juice. So, oh, all right, that was quick. Time Lord much? So, okay, you're a Time Lord. I get it. I won't bother you. I won't mess with you. So, what he's going to do now is he's going to put those beans into the bowl along with the tomatoes. And then, well, I mean, he just has to open a jar, which I'm sure you can do. So he's just going to open the jar of tomato sauce. Really, you can use any tomato sauce you want. It doesn't really matter. The last time I made this, or rather the last time I got Rez to make this for me, we used portobello mushroom sauce, tomato sauce. Yeah, that was really yummy, but anything works. Now, something that Mama VB told me is that waste not, want not, and there's still a lot of tomato sauce in there, so Rez is going to make sure to get all of that out by just putting water in the jar. Like so. There you go. And that takes a lot of the actual other parts of the tomato sauce out of the jar and into our bowls where we want. That a boy. Keep it nice and clean. Is it clean though? Do you owe me 20 bucks or do I need 20 bucks? You're right. You owe me 20 bucks. Alright, so... Oh, okay, good. He used his Time Lord powers to make everything clean. So next up is the beef, the ground beef. This is extra lean ground beef. You can really use any beef you want. There's no rule about it. You can use any meat you want. Like for the other recipe I'm going to make for somebody else, I'm using chicken instead. Just because they just don't handle beef as well. So when you're actually touching beef and other products, always make sure you're doing it clean and fresh and wash your hands lots. Otherwise you could get sick or make somebody else sick. So those are all the spices we're going to put in. And that little container right there, that's brown sugar. That's a little bit of a, you know, secret ingredient that Rez is going to put in to make the beef extra nice. So we're going to put in our onion and garlic powder, roughly about a tablespoon each, maybe a little bit more, it's up to your discretion, but no more than a tablespoon. And then roughly about half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of black pepper. Once again, up to your discretion. If you like black pepper, put more in. And then finally the turmeric. Turmeric isn't going to give it a lot of flavor, but it is a very delicious spice and it's very good for your body. So that's why we're putting it in. A little bit of brown sugar, but I think it needs a bit more. Can you put a bit more? Thank you. All right. So roughly about a tablespoon or more of salt. Sugar. Salt is going to come later and you'll see why. So, oh. Hey, what are you doing here? Get out of here. No, stop. Yeah, boy. Oh, Jesus. All right, so we had a special guest over there, apparently, I guess. Okay, so as you can see, Rez's hand is kind of gross. So he's going to wash that, and then... Okay, he Time Lorded again. All right, so you washed your hands, right? I know you did. So before any of this happens, you would have to wash your hands. Always make sure you wash your hands after you touch any meats. What? How'd you get in there? An escapee potato. He wanted to be one of the carrots, but you can't, because you're a potato. So these are the ingredients now. So we got our vegetables, we got our olive oil, and we got our meat. So when you're actually putting oil into a pan, make sure to only put enough oil in to coat the pan's bottom. You only need a little bit. Just enough, just a coat. Yeah, thank you, Riz. So, same thing with the other big pot, just enough to coat the bottom. This is a bigger pot, so a tiny little bit more oil. And he's gonna put the heat to about medium high, and the same for the other one, because we want to make sure that when the meat and the vegetables hit those two pans and pots, you're gonna hear a noise. You want to hear a tss. You really want to hear that because that's important. That means you did it right. So, yeah, so he's putting in the vegetables now. And so, what we're trying to do is make them translucent, or until they kind of look like they're see-through. That's the other term that we usually use when we're cooking together. So when they look more dull or bright or limp, which is essentially what we're trying to do. So that'll probably take like what, 6 to 7 minutes, and where he's gonna change the heat to low to kind of low, just because we want that to simmer. Because we don't want to burn our vegetables. That's a no-no. Don't burn your vegetables. And now, as you can see and hear, that nice sizzle from the meat going in the pan, that's exactly what we want. There is nothing more satisfying than putting something in a pan and just listening to that wonderful sound of it singing back to you when the oil is hot enough. And you can hear the fats like starting to cook. So with this is pretty simple. What you want to do is you just want to break up your meat, and you want to what he's doing. What Rez is doing is he's just breaking it up. He's mashing it down. He's making sure that all surface area of the actual meat product is going to get cooked through. And so this is done by making sure that there are little chunks of beef rather than just one big chunk. And he's also going to change the temperature to about medium heat. Because again, we don't want to burn the meat, we want to make sure it's nice and cooked with just a little bit of a char. So, as you can see, the vegetables look a little bit different, and they're going to keep looking more and more that way as we go. So, just keep an eye on those like he's doing, give them a stir, and if you find that if you're burning them, just turn off the heat, turn it to low, add a little bit more oil, and if you need to, add a tiny bit of water to keep the vegetables hydrated. So next up really is just making sure the beef is totally like cooked. So the way we do that is what he did is just leave it go for like what? That was like 2 minutes? That was 2 minutes? Yeah, thanks, Rez. That was about 2 minutes. So as you can see, the beef has changed the color and there's pink on the top. So what you want to do is you just want to flip it. You want to flip the beef. You want to flip the beef. You want to flip the beef. You want to flip. Okay, anyways. So yeah, so you want to flip that beef so it's cooked all the way through and so there's no more pink spots left. Of course, this beef is going into the pot in a bit, so that's fine if there were some pink spots, but if this was just going to be on its own, always make sure to break open a big piece of it. It has to be a decently big piece just to make sure that it's, all the way through. Right? Yeah, there you go. So yes, Rez, yes, we're going to put all of that into the pot with the vegetables. Our potatoes, our mushrooms, our beef, and our 3 liquid sauces. Well, I guess our liquid sauce now. No, wait, no, don't do that. That's too heavy. I know you're holding that camera with one hand. Okay, good. You Time Lorded it again, and now the sauce is inside the pot. And that's what we want. So quite literally, all you have to do is just stir it. Just give it a good stir with a wooden spoon or what have you, a spatula. Don't use your fist. Don't use your foot. Don't use a blunderbuss? I don't know. just use something that's meant for stirring. So, Yeah, so the point of this is just to make sure that it looks nice and that all the ingredients are incorporated amongst each other so they can be friends, so they can be best friends as they're cooked. I mean, so that they can be best friends and be totally happy in the pot. That's like 150 degrees. Yes. So it needs a little bit more water. So Rez is already on it. He's put some more water in it because the reason we're doing this is because, well, we don't want it to burn. You don't want your nice food to burn. So what you want to do is you want to make sure it's nice and hydrated. Because what we're going to do is we're going to turn this on to a nice low simmer, which is about a 2 to a 3 or slightly bit higher than low. Right? Yeah. Right. Exactly. Right? Yeah. Right there. Rez is showing you right there. And so all you really have to do is just leave it go. That's all you have to do. And what you should do also to help it heat up faster is put a lid on it. Don't put it on all the way. Just keep a little tiny like space between the pot and the lid. That's important so that steam can escape, because you don't want your food to boil over. That's bad. That can be dangerous, and that's a big mess you got to clean up later. That is a big mess. You don't want that. So now we're just going to leave it for a bit. Time Lord powers, activate. Boom. So it's been a second, so this should be boiling. Yep, there you go. Perfect. See how nice that looks? The mushrooms look a little bit different. They look a little bit more cooked now, a little bit more hydrated. Everything's been bubbling and simmering and stuff like that for the past while. And that's a really nice color, which indicates that we've done a good job. So the fats from the beef have incorporated into the actual stock itself, and that should come out with a really yummy flavor. So let's see here. At this point, there were some tomatoes you saw, which we, or I guess it was actually him, because I can't do it, but he cut off screen, which is good because we need to put those in, and he's putting them in at the end because, well, I mean, technically you can put them in at any point. We just like to put them in at the end because cooking tomatoes for a long time just kind of destroys them. So it's better to put them in at the end. So next up, finally, the salt. We don't have any Dota players around right now, but wait.
Oh.
Wait.
BB? What you cooking?
What are you... Get out of here! I'm shooting a video.
Oh,
we can talk
sorry.
later.
It smells really good.
Go. Okay. that was my friend Hawk Frost. I guess he forgot I was shooting a video. Okay, but yeah, so the reason why I didn't put any salt, or rather why Rez didn't put any salt in the food before, is because you can always add salt. You cannot take back salt. So if you oversalt something, you're done, son. So for this instance, because it's a soup, we decided to put this... Oh, hold on. Okay. It's kind of bland. It's kind of bland. I'm not going to lie to you. I think you need a little bit more salt. Okay? A little bit more. Right? I'm right, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm right. There you go. Good, Riz. Okay. So then after you put in salt, always just stir it. Give it a nice stir because that'll make sure the salt kind of like melds into the rest of the food itself. Okay, I think that's good. I think it's good. Thank you. Okay, let's try this again. That's delicious. That's super delicious. Good job. Hell yeah. Good job, Rez. Yeah, it's a good soup. Look what you did. Look what we did together. Ta-da! So, this is really the last step. All the food and stuff like that, especially the potatoes, have to simmer in here, and then Time Lord it. Boom! Boom! Look at that. There we go. That's exactly what we want. Look at that food right there. Look at it. Look at it. That looks delicious. It's a lovely day outside. So, yeah, that's it. If you want some toast with it, we got a nice bit of toast and butter there. If you like your chili a little bit less a little less like soupy like me, I and Rez, like, we personally like to dip our bread in it, so that's just the way it is. But you can always let it simmer and reduce on your stovetop for a little longer. Just make sure to watch it so it doesn't burn. It's all person to person. That's just how we like it. So if you'd like to change it up and make it a little more dry, go right ahead. Because we like dry things too sometimes. But either way, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you again sometime. This was VB and Rez, and yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye. Hi. Just real quick, I wanted to come and talk to you about the social links I have. Thank you for watching my video again, by the way. So over here we have my my Twitch TV link because I do Twitch avidly almost every single day. I have a Twitter that you can follow as well, should you choose. And I'll also post, or also, I mean, I will have links here, right here, actually, like really right here, for my friend Hawkfrost's videos as well, and his Twitch TV, which I actually have him right here. Come here. This is the bean who interrupted my video a second ago. Look at him. Don't you want to come see him too? Yeah. So please like and subscribe if you like this content. You'll be seeing a lot more from both of us, and we hope to see you soon. Yeah, right, Hawk? Okay. Bye bye.